Let's
Spin your
do this,
dial.
Mark.
Hello, Music Multiverse listeners, and welcome to another Beyond Your Radio Panelist favorite show. I'm live from Baltimore, Maryland, and the rest of my panelists are also live or alive. But before we get into that, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Also, please like and comment, as we certainly want to know your list, your thoughts, and if you're liking what we're doing here. Also of note, due to those demonetizing bastards at YouTube, we won't be playing any of the songs listed or talked about today. I'd love for Beyond Your Radio to be all of that in a bag of chips, but we're not there yet. Tonight, it's our panelists' favorite of all time, 10 songs, but we're throwing in a twist. As Jeff Johnson pointed out just recently, I love to complicate the living shit out of everything. So what happens is each of the panelists will give you their 10 from 10 to their number 1. And then the 5 panelists will all decide which of their 10 they believe is the greatest on that list. And then when we have a consensus by quantity vote, we will then move that song into the finals, where the 5 panelists will each have one song in the finals. We'll talk about all those songs as well as we know them. And then we'll try, without killing each other, to get 5 in order. Maybe not work, but we're going to give it a shot. Tonight, we have Sue Kuligowski, Alex Kaluzny, Chef Jeff, who's in Arizona tonight, and Jeff Young in Florida. Everybody's well? I guess they are. It's silence.
We're well.
You're well? All right. So,
Well,
what we're going to
adjusted.
do is, again, these are their favorites. No one's wrong, except for Alex. Yep. So whatever he says, yeah, we'll just go with it. Should be interesting. It was certainly a daunting task, as many as my panelists said. And having already seen the lists, I am stunned by the number of bands that are duplicated. I am also free to say that one band appears with the same song on the list, which I didn't think was going to happen, but it did. So I'm going to now share my screen. So bear with me momentarily. I'll try to do this as fast as possible.
I've seen you run. You're not fast.
This is true.
Skate.
That's even truer.
That's where
Everybody
I'm not fast.
good? Do we see?
Whoa. Yes.
Okay.
Nice. Looks nice. Professional.
Yes, I am professional, if anything. Now, if I can just get it to work. Come on. Come on.
With the old Fonzie.
Beyond
You're
your
lacking
technological
bandwidth as
prowess.
usual.
There we go. Ta-da! We have success. Up first tonight will be my darling wife with her 10. So, Sue, it's to you.
It's me. Okay, so I guess that's my list.
It's on-
All right, so my number 10, and I'm just reading them up, right?
reading them off, and yep.
So number 10 is Move, Get Out the Way by Ludacris.
Boo! Get out the way.
Number 9 is Wind Beneath My Wings by Bette Midler.
Very good.
Number 8, In Your Eyes by Peter Gabriel. Number 7 is
Mark size earlier.
Huh? What?
Go ahead.
Number 7 is Good Mother, Jan Arden. Number 6 is Hands by Jewel. Number 5, Spirit of Radio by Rush.
Nice.
Number 4, Best of You, Foos.
I knew you were gonna have a Foo Fighters song. I just didn't know which one.
Right, well, yeah. Number 3, Ants Marching, Dave Matthews Band.
Oh,
Great.
Number 2, The Valley Road, Bruce Hornsby and the Range. And number 1 is These Days, Foos. That's my list.
Wow.
Two from
Very
one
nice.
minute.
not where I thought you were going with number 1.
Wow, where'd you think I was going?
I was gonna say if you're going Foo Fighters twice, that your second one would end at number one would have been Everlong.
Yeah, I mean, I love that. I love them all. Like, I could have picked them all, but anyway, I'm not supposed to talk about it right now, I don't think.
No, I mean,
Okay.
okay, so just so everybody know, I mean, I know every song on there. Does anybody not know any of the songs on there?
I know
wanna-
all except for the Foo Fighters because I don't listen to them.
Okay,
I want to know which artist you struggled at the end going, oh, if there was only a number 11, how to put this one.
good question.
So many. Sting was one for sure.
What song?
I mean, it's hard. It's so hard. You know, I'm not a favorites kind of person.
I
Yeah.
know.
It's
I
tough.
think your top 10 will be different 10 in 2 weeks.
And it's literally the truth. She doesn't have a favorite daughter.
She
Does she
barely
have
has
a
a she
favorite?
barely has a favorite husband.
That's what I was gonna say.
You want to know which one is mine?
Yeah, I don't
That's
know.
another show.
There's so many others that so the Foo Fighters these days, I get it, Alex, like there were a couple other ones that I love for different reasons, but this one, there's a moment in the song where they pause with the heart stops. And I just love that. I love stuff like that. I love when people get creative like that and you know, so, and
I
I
say
like,
that because when I saw the best of you, it kind of reminds me of that same plane of theme and song. So that's why I kind of jumped to the assumption there.
yeah, well, you shouldn't assume. No,
Okay.
I don't know.
So
So that's it.
I on this list, I love the Jewel one. I first of all, I didn't remember it right away when I saw it on there, like, wow. And then I listened to it again. It's so it's definitely timeless. It's definitely, it's probably the best song she has. And it's probably not the one everybody would go to, but it has such power and meaning. And even in today, which is I like that a lot. I, like you, had this other rap artist and whether it was going to get into the top 10. And I like that you got this one in, and I know it's big for you. That list is excellent.
I finished up with like 3 or 4 different rap songs on my top grand list, and I couldn't find a way to get any of them in the top 10. So to see one squeak its way in was nice to
Gotta
see.
make the cuts, man. Tough to make cuts sometimes.
Yeah.
It's hard.
And if I had a number 11, it would have been Beth Miller's Wind Beneath My Wings.
Yeah.
Yes, I know.
I love that song. It's just classic.
It is.
really is.
Yep.
It's okay. So think about it, right? There's two songs in there that are soundtrack, right? In Your Eyes and Wind Beneath My Wings were both on soundtracks. So you're going to be interested to see that in other lists that there's this again. So, okay, here's the 10. I'll give you a few seconds for the panelists to pick. Sue, we already know what your number 1 is. Pick the one off of here that you would move on to the next.
Oh,
In
So,
your, in your
there's only-
eyes.
so you only take one of these.
Correct. Okay, I have a vote for In Your Eyes. Alex?
how do you want said vote? Verbally?
Yes.
Oh, all right. Because I was just starting to write it
No, I
down.
thought you'd email me. Yes, give it to me verbally.
I email you.
Well, if you wait 3 to 4 business days, I got the letter going to you in Maryland. I'm torn between going Ants Marching or Spirit of Radio on this.
Flip a coin.
Jeff, what do you got? You got a young?
But yeah, pass to Jeff first.
You know, I was thinking of either Spirit of Radio or In Your Eyes, and I'm just gonna go with Spirit of Radio.
Okay.
Good choice.
My pick is The Best of You by Foo Fighters.
I'll go Spirit of Radio.
So Spirit of Radio.
You are right.
Sue,
For once.
What do you mean, Sue?
you will be talking about Spirit of Radio as your entry. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So
So
sit tight.
Oh, okay, I'm sitting tight.
Well, yes. Okay, so we're gonna move on to Chef Jeff.
Can you turn this into a board game next time?
Oh,
I just noticed by rereading my lists,
Oh,
list-
no.
my list is all male. I do not have a female artist on the list.
but you said that would have been in there if it was 11.
Yeah, if there was 11, but my top 10. So
Okay.
here we
You're
go.
not
We'll
alone
pick-
because I don't have a female or boy George, so you're good.
Well, that's
Yeah,
okay because you don't have a female, so that's all right.
Okay. So number 10, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, Sweet Judy Blue Eyes.
Yeah.
I think I've heard them before.
Mhm.
Hopefully. Number 9, Simon and Garfunkel, the Boxer.
Yeah.
Number 8, The Who, Baba O'Reilly.
Hmm.
Number 7, and it had to make it somewhere, Led
Mhm.
Zeppelin, Stairway to Heaven. Number 6, Grateful Dead, Sugar Magnolia. Number 5, Don McLean, American Pie. Number 4, Elton John, Candle in the Wind.
Ooh.
Mhm.
Number 3, The Beatles, Lady Madonna. Number 2, The Doors, LA Woman.
Mm.
And my favorite song of all time, and this is actually the truth, I didn't have to think about this all, the band, The Weight.
Ah, man, this is tough.
I was I had to look up how to spell Baba O'Reilly.
I bet Deb would have him.
Did you spell it right? Because I was wondering about that second out.
I had Lauren look it up while I was sitting in the room just to make
Yeah, he's got it right. I have it right too. So
It would be great if Lauren trolled you and gave you the wrong one.
okay. So what they have to pick now? One.
Yes. And
I'm very partial on this list.
yeah, I am too. Oh,
This is
I am-
really my list is really a literally top 10. All of these were platinum, double platinum, triple platinum.
Well, now that I see this, I know that I know what Jeff's gonna pick off mine.
Yep. So
I
And-
100% know.
yeah, so I am gonna go with. It's such a slice of Americana that I got to go with Don McLean. It is everything an American song should be.
Absolutely.
I
Oh. These are tough.
Yeah.
I got mine if you're ready.
Just okay.
Go ahead.
Oh.
I gotta go with the Doors, LA Woman.
Okay.
Fabulous song.
Because that almost made my top 10. That was one of my final cuts.
Mhm.
Well, it's a fabulous song. And I saw him do it live. So
Mm,
I'm so
the-
envious.
the
I
envy is yes.
actually, on the side note, while they're thinking, Chef Jeff, you will like this. I did get to see a concert here in Lockport where Ray Manzarek and Robbie Krieger played together with the lead singer of Fuel. So I did get to
would've been-
at least see that for my generation. That's the best I'll ever get.
you never know. A lot of them aren't dead yet.
Right.
I'm going with Stairway to Heaven.
Can understand that.
Timeless, and whether you like it transcends just any genre. Like anybody could like that song, even if they not into metal, not into rock.
No.
Like
Yeah,
It
that was
is-
my
it
that was
is-
my close second, but I can't
is-
imagine hearing that
It
in a
is.
school
It
dance.
is the song that is the most played and the most revered of all the music catalog in the world.
Yep. Absolutely.
and it definitely would have been on Deb's list.
That's the yes. It's the only song
She would've had
that
10
I
Led Zeppelin
immediately
songs.
moved off my
She would have had
list.
8 Led Zeppelin songs and 2 Robert Plant songs.
Sue,
So hard.
We bought
don't-
you enough time.
I know. Well, I don't know. I wish I knew the song The Wait. But anyway,
if I sang it, you'd know it.
Go ahead, Jeff. Give us a few bars.
The only thing we didn't buy Sue here was a vowel.
So funny. Okay, I am gonna go with Stairway to Heaven.
Okay.
You
So
are right.
that'll be on the list.
Okay, so that's what I'm talking about, correct?
Correct. That's you want yours to be number one. Jesus. I
With
wonder
a
if it'll be
bullet.
number one.
Number one with a bullet.
All right. I'm going to move now to Alex Kuligowski
Oh, this should be interesting.
at number 10. Go ahead.
I would venture that Jeff, well, my pre-guess is Jeff's gonna know 1, 2, 3 songs out of my 10.
All right. Let's see if we can do it.
So number 10, I have The Killers, All These Things That I've Done.
Ding, ding, ding.
And Brandon Flowers' beautiful lyricism of this.
I know the song.
We got to 4 because I guarantee you know the other 3 because I didn't have you having that
Yep.
one. Number 9, one of my favorite intros to a song / what he opens his concerts with. Matthew Good Giant.
KICKASS.
That's
Ding,
the
ding.
way we spell success. So Matthew Good Band's The Giant. Not the, but you get the point.
Yep.
Number 8, Pearl Jam, Alive, one of my all-time favorite
Mhm.
guitar bits in this
Yeah.
song. Number 7, Working Man by Rush.
Nice.
I know it.
It's a good one.
I
That's
know
one
it.
of the Sheffrey ones I pegged right there for sure. Number 6, When the Levee Breaks by Led Zeppelin.
Fabulous song.
The amount of change to the sound of that song is phenomenal to me.
Yeah. A lot of bridge work.
One of my go-to karaoke's at number 5, Roadhouse Blues by the Doors. Number 4, one of my favorite intros to a song of all time, Smells Like Teen Spirit, one of the most recognizable openings.
I
that
almost
there can
picked that
possibly
one,
be.
but I did not.
I know the
Incorrect.
song.
Number 3, Nautical Disaster by the Tragically Hip.
Mhm.
Had to get the hip in there. To Sue's Pleasure, number 2, All My Life by the Foo Fighters. And number 1, my surprise for me being me when I shuffled through these, Sister Awake by the Tea Party.
I almost picked that one too. I literally had listened to it like 3 times thinking, I gotta put this in, but then I did.
As I was going through this, I had to try to not duplicate bands, and so I'm pulling different songs, do a listen, knock some out there, do another listen. And when I came down to this list, I looked and I just went, I can't believe I have Sister Awake at number 1. But as I keep hearing it compared to everything else, it's so different. And the amount of musicians.
Yeah, the first time I heard that song was with Mark in his car in front of Sue's house, waiting for her to come out because I think we were going to a movie or something because we always did that. But it was like 2:07, 6 o'clock rock report they had, and they were playing it as a debut, and we heard it for the first time, and I was just like, this is awesome.
Look at each other going, did Led Zeppelin get back together? I don't know.
Well, and it was hilarious because this summer I'm listening to the radio and I haven't heard Sister Awake in forever. I've heard other Tea Party songs on the station, and Sister Awake comes on, and it's like something captivated my soul that I started air drumming the entire song, and I was just banging on shit bongo style just to get through the song. And I'm like, okay, this is doing something to me. And same thing with Foo Fighters, All My Life. It's one of my favorite songs to watch, like videos of the Foo Fighters playing that live on YouTube.
Yeah.
I was very, very tight on which Nirvana song, but you couldn't pass up Smells Like Teen Spirit. I gave my backstory on the Doors there. Rush was tough because it was very even across the board amongst 4 songs for me from them. And that one just prevailed. And I think it's understated how good Alex Lifeson is too. I don't think he gets enough credit amongst the popular guitarists. And then, I especially getting to the Killers at 10 though, like that, the lyrics to that song, the tempo, the pace of it, the commercial catchy line in there, the I've got soul, but I'm not a soldier. It's the part that everyone recognizes with that song. My 10 feels so good for me to have come up with after hours of listening.
Okay.
I'll tell you what I'm picking.
Okay, Jeff.
As much as I like the impact of Smells Like Teen Spirit, I'm gonna go with Rush Working Man just because there's just more to it. And I think that song, isn't that song from like the 70s?
It
Oh,
might
yeah,
be.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Let me look here. I'll give you.
Like I was
I think-
shocked. I remember my uncle had that out on a record, like a vinyl. I was like, you actually listen to music? Oh my gosh!
Released 1974.
Yeah.
There you go. I was 3 years old.
All right. So we have one for Working Man.
Well, first of all, Alec, you're wrong. I knew 7 out of your 10.
Nice.
I'll take it.
For my pick, it's really hard. Can I pick them both? No. It's either the Doors, Roadhouse Blues, or Led Zeppelin's When the Levee Breaks. They're both just absolutely fabulous songs. But I think I'm going to go with one I believe a little better, and that's the Doors, Roadhouse Blues.
Okay.
And Jeff, I'll appease your question to Sue on this one. My number 11 that was the final cut was Have a Cigar by Pink Floyd.
Good
Okay.
song.
Sue?
Well, I kind of want to go for Working Man, but I don't want to follow Jeff all day. So because
Can't help it.
and also because honestly, Pearl Jam, like I've been in a 90s mood, I guess, lately. They were also like kind of hanging in there. I'm just gonna give the vote to them
Okay.
because they are kind of awesome.
So I am also going to pick Pearl Jam's Alive.
Ooh.
Again, well, as we'll see with my list, you'll see why, but I'm going to go with Alive. So Alex, yours will be Pearl Jam Alive.
Almost like you two are married.
I would have picked a different song for sure, but in order to make the last 5 an interesting mix,
Question:
You should pick what you want to pick.
no, I yeah,
when you guys talk, do you see yourself?
yes.
When I talk, I don't see myself at all.
Yo, that's a feature, just turn it on.
Oh, how do you do that? Do that?
Bottom right hand corner, or well, bottom right, is it bottom?
Oh my gosh.
It's like
Plus
most of my
I'm
Go
third.
to your video settings, go to video settings, and it's in the advanced, I think, and it says, do you want to see
No,
your
you know why, Jeff? You have 5 screens. It only takes just scroll to the left or right. You'll see yourself.
Don't you normally see yourself, Jeff?
No, not when there's 5 people.
No, I always see everybody.
Well, you have a bigger.
I had
screen.
197 people in here. I'd see
Well,
myself.
all I see is I see the big screen, and then you guys are in the corner now, and whoever talks, I see.
Oh yeah, you don't have a grid view. Put on the grid.
Oh yeah,
view.
pick your view.
Well, I had it on grid view, but then it switched to this. So
Oh, you must have. Yeah.
Jeff, it's like most of my 30 years of life. You just got to turn yourself on.
That sounds like a commercial.
Yes. And on that note, let's see what. Oh, wait a minute. Jeff is the one who's next, aren't you?
yeah, I don't see anywhere to do it. It's
Okay.
like-
Well, you're all over my screen. What are you doing?
Now you're drawing shit and annotating.
Yeah. What? Damn it.
Oh shit!
Get your finger out of there.
I can draw on this thing.
Stop it. It's not
Remember,
comedy
guys,
hour.
this is live.
Anywho,
Ready,
There's Young.
Mr. Young?
Okay.
yeah.
It's you. Uh-oh.
With the signs in your eyes.
Is there?
I don't see it.
Hang on.
All right.
Frozen.
Hang on.
Frozen in time.
Yeah, frozen a second.
Oh, why is he driving from East Aurora?
Again.
Why is it? Your internet connection is unstable. Lauren, what are you watching? Laura, my internet's going. What do you got?
Nothing. I'm not watching anything.
Okay.
So next door neighbor.
You can just pause it if you need to.
Yeah. All right, go ahead. Jeff,
Well-
number 10.
10 is The Sound of Silence, performed on the Conan O'Brien show, March 2016 by Disturbed. The album Immortalized has the studio version, but I cannot listen to the studio version anymore. I'm forced to, anytime that I hear that, I will stop it and immediately go to YouTube and watch the Conan O'Brien version. It is by far the best version of that song you will ever hear. It's probably one of the best live performances you will ever see. And I'll tell you what, that thing has 670 million downloads.
Oh, wow.
Or views. It's just
Wow.
incredible. I mean, what's funny is I actually was flipping through the channels and I actually saw it live in 2016. I'm like, okay, yeah, wherever I'll watch Disturbed, they're kind of cool. But it just blew me away how well they performed that
Mhm.
in that setting. And it's incredible.
Obviously, the original by Simon and Garfunkel.
I was turned on to this version of Disturbed by my next door neighbor, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
It is a great cover.
Number 9, I picked Zombie Eaters from the band Faith No More. The album is epic. It was just one of those albums I listened to over and over and over on a cassette tape in my Chevy Cavalier. But I like that because it has, that song displays 3 or 4 different levels of Mike Patton's voice, and it's got, it goes from soft to medium to the aggressive stuff they have all in one song. So number 8, Room 1,000 Years Wide by Soundgarden from Bad Motorfinger. It's just so heavy. It's a very simple song. It's not even probably their best song, but I just can't not listen to it when it's on. Number 7, Guns N' Roses Paradise City from Appetite for Destruction. Just
I like
classic.
this.
It's just awesome. Number 6, Hot for Teacher from Van Halen from 1984.
I
Nice.
almost picked that.
This song, there's so many good Van Halen songs, but I feel like this song really captures everything about Van Halen. Like the song has a little bit of each member doing their own thing, whether it's the drums, the vocals, the guitar, the bass, and the video shows them being quirky and stupid and fun, and it's just really good. Like, it's just awesome.
So you know how in the show Family Guy, they're typically right about things and you don't want to admit it? Best line I've heard in Family Guy, or at least one of my favorites, is Peter Griffin going, "This is hotter than that time I tried to play Hot for Teacher on drums." And he starts trying to do the intro with the motorcycle thing and he just throws his drumsticks up within 10 seconds and starts crying.
Yeah. So number 5, I've got Tweeter and the Monkey Man cover by
Yes.
Stones from Picture of Health. And
Obviously, Bob Dylan cover.
yeah, it is awesome. I don't know if you ever
It
heard that.
is? I didn't know it was
Yeah,
a
Have you heard
cover.
that song?
Yeah.
Have you heard that song, Jeff?
Yep.
Have you heard that version of it?
Nope.
No, you should check it out. It's right in there with a Disturbed.
It's awesome. I only know it as this version.
Oh, and
Takes it
there's
up a notch.
actually another version.
Number 4, I picked Holy Wars, The Punishment Due from Megadeth, Rust in Peace. And this has just incredible, complicated guitar work. And the subject material is pretty good too, but it's just very heavy, a lot of playing. And I actually got to see the band Sphere years ago play the entire Rust in Peace album for their, I think it was the 25th anniversary tour, which was cool. And because they actually had Dave Mustaine and the lead guitarist sign one of my albums, which was cool.
Oh,
But yeah, that was awesome. Number 3, I picked the song Skyfall by Adele. It's a standalone release. It's actually not on the Skyfall original motion picture soundtrack,
Right.
but it is an awesome song. And I'm sure everyone probably remembers the performance at the Academy Awards, which the minute you heard that song, you knew she was winning. There was just no way she wasn't going to win that.
That's right.
One
But
of
it's
those songs
incredible.
is not like the others.
Yes, that's for sure.
Number 2, No Leaf Clover from Metallica and the
Yes.
Symphony from
Yeah.
S&M. I mean, that is just another song that is just like, again, it's probably not Metallica's best or most well-known song, but it is a perfect song.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
just a perfect song.
You just reminded me that's one I didn't even have on my master list for Metallica, and I just had to write that back on it.
Yeah, and what I like too is it's like one of the originals they did for S&M. It wasn't just like an older songs that they blended with the symphony, and for a song made for just that occasion, it was great. Number 1, New Orleans is Sinking, the Killer Whale Tank version by the Tragically Hip live at the Roxy. Road Apples has the studio version, but it's just gold.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff, I owe you 2 giant middle fingers for putting 1 and 2 where they are, because I don't know what the hell I'm gonna pick, you asshole.
That's
Well, since
6 points.
since I
Yeah.
only know 2 of the songs on this whole list,
That makes it
literally,
easy. You're in the
Yeah.
same boat as Alex, basically.
No, I know others here. Paradise
I'm
City's
just- no, I
great.
mean, you have it down to 2 songs. Is what I'm saying.
yeah, I know.
but-
I had to think about it.
So,
But
so
I
on a
never-
fun one, while everyone's thinking, I have this 97 Rock parody CD of Snorton Norton and the Morning Circus Band. And I'll
Wow.
never unhear Paradise City
Yeah.
with them changing it to Take Me Down to the Kansas City, Let the Jills Come Too, because they got nice.
Yep.
I'll leave it at that.
Well,
We're
let
going-
me start this one because it's the easiest one for me. Number
Yep.
6, Van Halen, Hot for the Teacher.
Okay.
Can't go wrong.
Nope.
Nope.
I forgot my pencil.
I don't feel tardy.
So many good lines in that song.
Mhm.
The little side dialogue is probably even the best part of it. It has a little ZZ Top vibe to it too.
What do you think, Susie?
Um, this is too hard to do.
For my number 11 that I would have picked, I was torn. I was like, how do I not have Tea Party on here? How do I not have Stone Temple Pilots on here? How do I not have Iron Maiden on here? Like, how do I not have Ozzy? There's just so many like you could go with.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go for Hot for Teacher, I think.
Whoa, look at that.
Yeah.
So I'll take my incorrect pick here. I'm gonna go No Leaf Clover.
All right, sir.
Mark.
I'm going with New Orleans is Sinking.
All righty then.
So in that case, we have a tie between Hot for Teacher and New Orleans is Sinking. So considering it was Jeff's number 1, he'll keep his number 1, and the Tragic Leaps New Orleans is Sinking will be in there. So not Canada will be on the list twice. My second pick would have been Adele. It's that song's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
I don't think I've heard it.
You're kidding, right?
It's funny. I'm on the list and
No.
I'm like, oh, I have so many that I've missed. And I'm like, well, actually, it's a pretty damn good list.
Yeah,
Right.
it's a good look. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Mark, it's all up to you now to bring it home.
All right.
Here's where I won't know any but maybe 2.
No, I watched what I did. Anyway, number 10 is Brian Adams. Everything I do it for you. Notice
Great
the
song.
soundtrack. I think
The
it's
great
the best
Christian
song he ever.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think it's the greatest ripoff in the history of the Oscars. How he loses to Beauty and the Beast. How many
That's my
weddings? has
favorite
that
song of all
played at?
time.
Dear Lord.
Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, Beauty and the Beast. Play that at a wedding. Nope. I think I'm playing everything I do it for you. Number 9 is In Excess, Never Tear Us Apart.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent.
Number 8 is Dave Brubeck Quartet, Take 5.
Fabulous, fabulous song.
Mhm.
Number 7 is Kate Bush, This Woman's Work. Every time I hear it, I want to bawl my eyes out. Number 6, The Rolling Stones, No Sympathy for the Devil.
Great song.
Number 5, the tragically hit. No, that's not right. That's supposed to be New Orleans is sinking. You know what? It just
Well, it's
happened.
kind of nautical.
Yeah, so it's New Orleans is sinking now. I remember I was copying people's lists.
No, I was
This
gonna
is
say, were you
they called
thinking
the
of
wrong.
mine?
This is like when they called the wrong movie at the Oscars.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, no
No, this
sympathy.
is that's
no
a Steve
sympathy for
Harvey
the
Miss
host.
America pageant.
Number 4 is Radiohead's Paranoid Android. I think it's one of the most clever songs probably ever written. The bridge
I
work,
love this
everything's
song.
ridiculous. It's almost like their homage to Meatloaf's what's the long song? Ugh. Paradise by the Dashboard Lights. It's a
Mhm.
modern version of that. Number 3, this is personal for me. This is Gowan's Criminal Mind. I think it's one of the most beautiful, dark songs ever written. Just a piano, Gowan, and the idea of a man on death row who is not sorry about anything. Number 2
like
is Phil
you.
Collins. Sounds like me. Phil Collins, In the Air Tonight. I think still to this day, to the future, to any television show or movie that comes along, that will be in the background somewhere. It is the most recognizable drum track ever. And Phil might be one of the greatest songwriters of all time.
And nobody
And my
can hit
number
the air
one-
drum timing well enough.
Anybody want to guess what my number 1 is?
Let me see here. Your number 1 is
None of the last 9.
your number 1. Give me a second here. I'm gonna go with. Did you pick the Police?
It was close.
I've already seen the list, so I won't say anything.
So it's the only song that I have. I mean, I sing a lot of songs in front of people, not that many, but karaoke wise and stuff.
Eat It by Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah, no. So, Sue, do you remember?
You sang a lot of songs in front of me.
No,
Karaoke
not in front of you, in front of everybody. Like,
Poor you.
in front of everybody. Was this it? Wait.
His number 1. I got it. It's ABBA.
Oh, well, no, see, this is hard. I've heard you sing in front of people a few times. So, I mean, Don Henley, you're done. You've done.
There you go.
All right.
Lives, Lightning Crashes from York, Pennsylvania. One of the most beautiful songs, and that voice of Ed Kowalczyk is outstanding, and that's my number 1. Obviously, there were ones that the Police's Every Breath You Take was on my list. Most of mine are on the darker side of things, except for maybe the Dave Brubeck Quartet.
I was thinking about putting in Synchronicity,
Great tune.
but I did not.
I took the Beatles and I said, I'm just not putting them on there. Because I could come up with 10 Beatles songs that were I didn't put Led Zeppelin on there because I couldn't pick one. I mean, Stairway to Heaven was kind of, I figured would maybe make it. So
Is it time for the lightning round?
so who wants to go first?
What are we doing now? Oh,
No, I need somebody has to, pick the one that they like as a number 1.
okay.
Number 6, the Rolling
Okay.
Stones. No Symphony for the Devil.
That's pretty legendary.
It is.
Actually, so just so we're clear, No Sympathy for the Devil is the Rolling Stones. No Symphony for the Devil is the who's the band? They covered it. I can see the Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
I'm gonna channel my inner '80s Michael Mann and go with the Phil Collins in the Air Tonight. It's funny.
Okay.
Our generation thinks of Miami Vice, and the younger generation, like Alex, probably thinks of The Hangover.
That's right.
I don't, but I do think of how many people always do not know when the drum part's coming up.
I do.
Or Holly McNarland.
Yep.
Oh, I'm torn between 2 and whatever you think 5 is, because I can't tell which one you actually chose.
No, it's the New Orleans is singing, so it's out. It's out. It's already on there.
No, I just had to give you shit. Now I'll go 2.
Phil.
Phil
You are
Collins.
right.
It's not the first time we've done this, Jeff.
I think Sue has agreed with me 2 times, should have been 3, and you agree with me 2 times.
Should have been
Right.
every time, so I wouldn't be wrong.
You're always wrong.
Or are you agreeing with me?
Yeah, but
I'll
ahead of
I'll
time.
take it. I'll take
Here's
it.
my first. I'm gonna go with the hip on this one.
No, can't go with the hip
Why?
because it's already on the list. It already made it.
Oh, okay.
That all automatically makes her vote Huey Lewis, Hip to be Square.
That was my number 12.
Okay.
Oh, when Sports came out in '83, I thought he really came into his own.
Yes.
Hey, Paul!
Hey, Marty
Okay.
McFly had a poster on his wall of sports.
Right.
Okay,
I
well,
just-
I'm going with Gowan then, because I think I've been hearing that with you since like our first date.
Aw,
Yeah, it's a great first date song, right?
Yeah.
Okay, he's disturbed. Great.
Wait, can we make that that's got to be our next show, Mark's first date songs for Sue.
One of them was
Well-
her favorite album ever.
We didn't actually, it wasn't on the first date. It's just,
First many dates.
I don't want to get too personal here, but yeah. So anyway,
Yeah.
Mark, think about Mark like at 16 and his little cassette music collection already. And I got to go through and see all the
My
stuff.
God,
That's
that's a
a
scary thought.
I was
They were
about to
just-
say, you're asking me to think of Mark at 16. I can barely remember him as my hockey coach.
I don't remember me at all.
Susie, I love you, but these 5,000 cassettes, you ask before you touch.
I just don't touch.
This
And
part of
Mark-
the room is your room.
And Mark, I'm going to correct you on something.
Yes.
Phil Collins in the Air Tonight has a fabulous drum solo, but it's not the most recognizable. Anybody who's a drummer, and that's what I have been for many years, knows that the Ventures wipe out. Every
Well-
drummer has to learn that
Oh,
immediately.
yeah.
Well,
Definitely.
I'm talking about drum
True.
fill. It's a drum fill. It's not. There's no.
And no, they're part. It is a fill. It doesn't start out with drums. It's a fill.
Yeah, Collins.
Either way, it's awesome.
All right, we need to do like a show, like a show about these two now. Hit them against one another.
Yeah, but we'll have to both get drum sets.
Who can do it better?
I can still play Wipeout.
We're
I
gonna
don't
have to
know
make
about-
this happen.
Sue, did you pick yet?
I did, didn't
Okay,
I?
so who am I waiting on?
Nobody,
Anybody?
you.
Oh, sorry about that, everybody. So I believe it's Sue. You picked. Yeah. So it's gonna be in the air tonight. Phil Collins.
Okay.
All
Now
right.
we're
So panelists, our songs are "Spirit of Radio," "Stairway to Heaven," "Alive," "New Orleans is Sinking," and "In the Air Tonight." I would like you to put them in the order you believe they should be in,
Oh my gosh.
from 5 to to the best.
What were the 5?
"Spirit of Radio,"
Got it.
"Stairway to Heaven,"
Oh, that's what I
"Alive," "New Orleans is Sinking," and "In the Air Tonight."
Oh, we lost Jeffrey.
Oh,
Jeff Young, we do have a puppet of him already.
that's me.
They're gonna use Chef from South Park.
That's true.
I'd say something, but we're recording.
He's back.
it's all right. I'm going to be editing it anyway.
All right, well, thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Now that we've all voted from 1 to 5.
Yeah, Mark kicked me on that one.
Yeah, I think what happened was I don't even know. Honestly don't know what happened.
Yeah, it just came across the screen. Host kicked you.
Can you share your video, your screen there, Jeffrey?
What?
I had
We
I had his
can't
puppet
see
up.
you.
You
Not
can't
that,
see?
no,
you
but
can't
at least you're
see.
not.
No, you've gone full John Cena.
Yep, you're incognito.
There you
There
go.
you are.
Ah,
Okay.
Life just feels a little better now.
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna have to put the picture of Swedish Chef up.
Yeah, and mimic me.
So
Jeff goes, "This
so
is why we need a puppet of everybody." I was like,
Exactly.
"Oh, got an idea."
This
A stand-in.
is why you
Well,
don't do this shit.
now I
in a
know what
hotel
to
room.
do on my spare time.
Make voodoo dolls.
You got it. Okay.
Okay, so welcome back after the kicking out of the room
The
accidentally.
interview.
So we're at the point in the show right now where we're going to try to put the 5 in order. Those 5 songs are New Orleans is Sinking by the Tragically Hip, In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins, Spirit of Radio by Rush, Stairway to Heaven by the Led Zeppelin, and Alive by Pearl Jam. Or did I just say too many? No, that's fine. Okay, we're going to start with Sue. Since
Okay.
she was the one who gave us her first 10, put them in order, my dear.
From 5 to 1.
Yep.
So number 5
Do prime
is,
numbers first.
huh?
He wants
Go
odd
ahead.
numbers first, is what he said.
Prime numbers. Go ahead.
Prime numbers, okay. Yeah. All right, so number 5, Alive.
Okay.
Number 4, In the Air Tonight. Number 3, New Orleans is Sinking. Number 2, Stairway to Heaven. Number 1, Spirit of Radio.
Okay. So your number 4 was In the Air Tonight, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Next was Alex, right? Were you next?
No, I was.
No, it was Chef Jeff then.
Chef
Okay.
Jeff.
Chef Jeff, put them in
Okay.
order for us.
Well, it's going to be hard because I told you I had no place to write him down, but I will. It's not that hard. Number 1, I will start with number 1 because I know where that's it.
Yep.
Stairway to Heaven is number 1.
Got it.
In the Air Tonight is number 2.
Uh-huh. We have Spirit of Radio, Alive,
Spirit
and
of
New Orleans
Radio is number 4.
Oh, you got. Wait a
Just
minute.
name them all. I'll tell you where they go.
Okay, so Stairway to Heaven's number 1. In the Air Tonight is number 2. That leaves you for number 3, either Spirit of Radio, Alive by Pearl Jam, or New Orleans is Sinking by the Tragically Hip.
You're gonna hate me for this. Say 'em one more time. The last 3.
Okay, so Spirit of Radio, Alive by Pearl Jam, or New Orleans is Sinking by the Tragically Hip
Okay, so alive
is number
number
3.
3.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And
Spirit of Radio is 4 and Tragically Hip is 5.
correct.
Okay, got it.
You know me well. So
Alex.
I have number 5, In the Air Tonight. Number 4, Spirit of Radio. Number 3, Alive. Number 2, Stairway to Heaven. Number 1, New Orleans is Sinking.
Wow. Youth is in the room. Jeff Young.
5 Alive, not just a good beverage years ago. 4 is Spirit Radio. 3 is Stairway to Heaven. 2 In the Air Tonight. Number 1, New Orleans is Sinking, the live version.
Wow. Okay, so mine were number 5, New Orleans is Sinking. Number 4 was Alive. Number 3 was Spirit of Radio. Number 2 was In the Air Tonight, and number 1 was Stairway to Heaven.
Again, I'm just picking by like favorites. I think Stairway to Heaven is by far the best song. But
Yeah, I think if we were going to do this, finalize this exercise, right, is that obviously the iconoclast in the room is Led Zeppelin, and it's Stairway to Heaven is one of the greatest songs of all time. And for that, out of all this list, we all would assume we could all say that is a number one choice.
Yeah.
Right.
I will say I went off board on that one. So considering favorites, swap my 3 and my 2. I'd put Stairway at 3, Alive at 2.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm going by my favorites.
Yeah. I mean, if you looked at this list and you saw everybody, you would have probably never assumed what the 5 would have been off of the 5 that were chosen by or the 10 that were chosen by everybody, that we got down to these 5. I'm kind of stunned that New Orleans is Sinking is in this, but I understand the panelists and the people I have. If we had another 5 more people in the room, who knows what would be. But
Stairway
yeah,
to Heaven.
Say again.
Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah.
We'd also be narrowing the top 10 into a top 10 if we had 5 more people.
Yeah. So I really think this is a cool exercise. I think I love the fact that everybody gets to think about, wow, it's so good. And then now there's this thing, right, where like let's in Jeff's position there, Chef Jeff, I don't know that song that well. I'd love to hear what you guys hear out of it, or even if it's Alex and looking at, the Spirit of Radio, you knew it. It wasn't on your list as a Rush song, right?
Right.
So if I guess this is the order that it is, the way this is looking down, it looks like to me, based on the choices, that either Stairway it would be like the reverse kind of thing, right? The hip would be up top and Stairway to Heaven would be at the bottom on some of us, and vice versa. And that's the age of the song versus, right? In all of these, the newest song on here is I'm assuming it's New Orleans is Sinking, right? I
The
think
only one that
Alive.
comes close is
When
Alive.
did Pearl
but-
Jam's 10 come out?
Well, that was the
Was it
first
the same
album,
year?
wasn't
Was that the same year?
it?
Be
Alive,
interesting to know that.
Pearl Jam.
So anyway, I want to thank my panelists for participating in tonight's test kind of thing, how we did this panelist show. I love the idea of doing the songs. That was excellent. That's just Chef Jeff idea. And then I twisted it and made it into the insanity it was tonight. We are on the web at www.beyondyourradio.com. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. You guys all know the shows that are out and you can see them all on YouTube. Not to mention all the articles that go online. What was Alex, when was Pearl Jam's 10?
New Orleans is Sinking came out 2 years before Alive.
Okay, so Alive is the most current
1989 for New Orleans is Sinking. Alive was 1991.
Okay. So I want to again see if you'll like and subscribe. Tell us your comments. I mean, obviously this is just 5 of us. The more comments we get, the more albums come up. Happy listening.
And watch soon for the worst songs of all time. Coming soon on
Yes.
your radio.
And this panelist show will now be shown on Fridays. So please be aware of that move, which I've already stated. Thank you, everyone, and happy listening.
Gimme.